Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to assemble a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, well, you can go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. I'm currently at 27 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when I hit 40. Speaking of subscribers, there is currently a promotion going on. Hello, Lashbrook. Currently, we have a promotion going on here on Twitch that you could take advantage of. From today until the 25th, you could get a 30-day Crunchyroll Mega Fan free trial when you sub to just 2 streamers. So if you sub with cash money to 2 streamers, you get that money. And I could be one of those streamers. Maybe 2 other people, but I could be one of them. And the Mega Fan gets you like access to a bunch of Crunchyroll games and the anime stuff and the manga stuff and a bunch of things and things. It's worth investigating. Lord Crashington says, hey, Pat. Hey to you, Lord Crashington. So, yeah, sub to places, get the 30-day Crunchyroll Mega Fan thing. The Crunchyroll Awards are this Saturday night / Sunday morning / Sunday afternoon / evening in Japan. I will not be doing it live. I have not done it since they started doing the thing in Japan. I have not run a live stream because the times are not great for me. But this promotion is happening because of the Crunchyroll Awards, which they know is cool that they do it in Japan, even though it does mean that a lot of its target audience will not see it live. We did some watch-alongs back in the day. Let's go to the overhead camera, continue working on the Gundam EX from RFV, Requiem for Vengeance. We finished the chest, we finished the head, we were working on the arms, which we can do a lot of at the same time, so we'll do that now. Put that like that, put that like that, and then we'll get going here by putting some armor on our shoulders here. So yeah, I am not going to watch it live. I will watch the results ahead of time and kind of talk through that, or after the fact, I should say. I'll go through the results, and I am going to do the next episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club will be my thoughts on the award show, going through what won, what I think should have won, what should have been nominated that wasn't nominated, all that stuff. I do that every year, and it just so happens that now this is a peek behind the old curtain. We'll pull back the curtain for a second here to let you know that normally I would record an episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club usually the Friday or Saturday before it goes up for everybody that Monday. And I like doing that because my $5 and $10 patrons get it on Sunday. They get a day early. And so I like to have that buffer. So I'm not recording it the day that I am sending it out to everybody. I try to have a buffer. On occasion, my Q&A videos get sent out the same, like an hour after I'm done recording it. But with other stuff, I do like to have a bit of a buffer there in case I need to edit it, something goes weird with it, in case I need, to do a bunch of things to it. Give it time for the HD version to upload and all that. So I will be recording the next Pat Baer's Anime Club on Sunday, and then as soon as I can, sending that out to my $5 and $10 patrons. Did I do this wrong? What's going on here? Okay. It's like, why is this not working? It just wasn't. Minor update on some things. I always like to do some updates now and again. I'm very hot in this room. That's your update. It was a little cooler than it's been the past few days, and so we didn't put the air conditioning on tonight to save money because in parts of the house it is perfectly comfortable. But that doesn't include me. So I am sweating already under all these lights, and I do imagine that I will continue to sweat throughout the stream. So it is what it is. I wish it wasn't as warm as I already am. So I will probably be taking breaks now and again to apply a little bit of paper towel to my arms to kind of clean them up a little bit here. Get rid of the sweat if I can. All right, so this needs to go on like this. Goes on like that. Great. And I got to do the same thing on the other one here because we can do these both these at the same time. And while we're done with these shoulders, we'll see. Is there any? Yeah, there's a little bit of panel lining we can do here. So we will do that. And we can clean up a little bit on here on the arm. Just a little bit here on part of the shoulder. We can clean up a little bit. It's a Monday. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing just fine. I got roped into helping out with some late spring cleaning. Our spring cleaning is happening in May. I have to do the outside windows, which will be fine. But we did some of the inside windows in a room. So you may remember this, folks, when I didn't, background and roof. 1 month of the year, I am in another room other than this one. And I have, and that room has windows on 3 sides and like 2 windows, 3 windows, 3 windows. So it's all windows. So there has to be furniture in front of windows. I'm not the biggest fan of furniture in front of windows. I like being able to walk up to a window, but that room, you can't. It's all window. You have to have furniture in front of it, which is fine, except when you want to clean those windows, because then you're like pulling the furniture away from the windows so you can clean the inside. You can lower them and fold them down so you can clean the outside. All that stuff, right? You're doing all the things and things. So here's where the problem lies. If you don't move the furniture except when you clean the windows, there's going to be a lot of dust and dirt back there. And there'll be a lot of stuff. It's like, and cobwebs where you couldn't reach before because there was a couch in the way. So you couldn't get the cobwebs in the corner where the roof pitches and all this other stuff. And it just becomes like one simple thing. Like, I'm going to clean 9 windows, including the 8 windows and a door. I'm going to clean all that. Suddenly becomes, well, we probably should mop back here. And we should probably like, I gotta get the stepladder. I have to do this and that. And these blinds could use a good cleaning too. We should probably dust the blinds and all this other stuff. And like, hey, can we rework where this goes and all this other stuff? And it just becomes a hassle. No, I do not have to worry about spiders, Lashbrook. Palmetto bugs appear now and again. But that's about it. I'm not dealing with anything like that. So that's fine. Not worried about spiders. Thankfully, I'm not worried about that. But yeah, it ends up working out okay. It was just a lot more stuff today that I had to do than I was expecting, that I was anticipating early on. Worked out fine, but I was like, oh, well, okay, I guess we're doing that today. Oh, all right. I'll do my best. As always, all you can do is just your best. Let's get this together, and then we'll do the other one. Again, a lot of these arms we can do at the same time, which makes things very convenient. So yeah, I had to do that. It was fine. I'm not like bent out of shape over it, but I also like, hey, for a guy that doesn't really do well with pollen and dust, that wasn't particularly fun. And I gotta mow tomorrow because it's that time of year where I gotta mow all the time. So I gotta do that. And it's just like, ugh. Am I right? It's like a lot of stuff that needs to get done, and I'm doing it. But Jesus, a lot of stuff. A lot of things and things. Try to pay down a debt. Try to get that taken care of because I am so close to paying it off. This bit of medical debt that I am currently dealing with, that like I have been paying for like 2 years on payments, and I'm now down to the point where like I could pay it off and I won't get a big bump of issues if I pay this off. So I'm like looking to get that done. And that's been a fun nightmare. It's always something. It's just rough out there, as you all are aware. But yeah, I am trying to get something figured out with that so I could not have to pay into it. Because like, if I can get down some of my debts and I don't have to pay into those debts constantly, then I can start doing other things with the money that I make. And it's not all just going into paying off debts and all of that. Like, at the very least, obviously, still looking for full-time work, still looking for more part-time work and more contract work and stuff like that. But really what I would love more than anything at this point, is I would love a bit of a cushion where, like, a thing going weird or a bill being close to being past due, or like a promise taking a little while because any number of things, like perhaps a business very much worried about how they're going to make their books make sense, and so I'm a low priority, but I can't be that low of a priority. I need y'all to get back to me, but like, I understand why you're not getting back to me, because shit's fucked, but like, figure it out, because I need you to pay me for the work I've done, and then also hire me for more work, all that stuff. Like, I would just love to have a little bit of a cushion, and I don't have that right now. It's rough. Of course, should say, there are plenty of folks out there that have it worse than I do, which does not make my situation lighter, but it is something that I have to be aware of, and at the very least acknowledge and understand. Everybody's in different scenarios and different situations. It's a tapestry. Things aren't great out there, and I understand that. We're all just fucking trying to do our best. Speaking of our best, I am looking forward to this Sunday some professional wrestling that I will be watching. The old AEW run show on Sunday, which I'll be checking out. This Sunday, I will be watching Double or Nothing, which currently only has 6 matches advertised. Now, will there be more matches? Of course there will. There will, at the very least, be an Anarchy in the Arena match, but it has not. It was like the challenge was confirmed at Collision, but it hasn't been like a graphic hasn't been made for it, or at least put up for it, so we don't know exactly who's in it. But it'll be the Young Bucks and some version of the Death Riders versus a coalition of like some people from the Ops and Swerve Strickland and possibly Willow Nightingale. And here's an unfun fact. I like to have some fun facts here. Here's an unfun wrestling fact. If Willow Nightingale and Marina Shafir are in the Anarchy in the Arena match, if they end up being included in this, which would be the first Anarchy in the Arena that has a mixed gender element to it, if they are indeed in that match, it will be the first AEW pay-per-view where there are women in the main event. Which is awesome, but also, fuck you, Tony Khan. This is why you should have made the Hollywood Ending match the main event. Yes, it wouldn't have been exactly how it was, because they would have given more time. But that should have been the main event, and that should have been the first women main eventing a pay-per-view. And it shouldn't be Anarchy in the Arena and Marina Shafir, who does not wrestle regularly. It's like, all right, well, fuck. But yeah, that looks to be the main event. It looks like it'll be a mixed gender. That would be great. Would love that. Maybe it won't be. Maybe they're not doing that. Which would be a shame, but that's a thing that's happening out there. What is happening on Double or Nothing? We can go through the card here. There will be more. We'll talk about it again on Thursday. I'll give my predictions on Thursday because it's kind of too early for me to say, oh, this is what I think is going to happen here, because a lot of stuff will get figured out on Wednesday. And also, they'll probably add stuff on Saturday, so maybe we should wait till Saturday to talk through it. I guess, you know what? We'll wait till Saturday to talk through it. And I'll give my predictions on Saturday. Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay. The winner becomes the this year's champion for the men's Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament Finals. And they get a world title shot at All In. I think that match is going to be fucking great. This is my early contender for a match of the night. I think these two guys work so well. They are going to be brutal with one another. It is highly likely that this will be a banger and steal the fucking show. Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné in the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament Finals, and the winner faces Toni Storm or Mina Shirakawa. We'll talk about that later. At All In. This one also probably a banger. I guess, you know what? I'll do my predictions now. We'll talk more about them later anyway. Why not? Why the fuck not? Why am I holding back? I think Will Ospreay is going to beat Hangman Adam Page. I think Hangman's story does not involve some victories, but not this victory. If I am thinking about, here's the deal. I would like the main event of All In Texas, to involve the title changing hands. I would like Jon Moxley to lose, because if he doesn't lose it All In, I don't know when the fuck he loses. So if I'm thinking about Hangman, former champion, but Hangman already lost an opportunity to beat Moxley in a four-way where he could have pinned somebody that wasn't Moxley. Will Ospreay, meteoric rise. Already great and likable dude, can do all the stuff Hangman can also do as well with the interviews and all of that. International champion, that's nice. Obviously Kenny's Canadian, Jericho's born in Canada as well, but Will is not a resident of the United States, so like that's interesting. That could be an interesting element to it. So I think Will Ospreay is going to beat Hangman Adam Page, and I think Will Ospreay main eventing All In just makes fucking sense. Jam to subscribe with Prime. That's 86 months. That's so many fucking months, Jam. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego size tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Thank Jam for their continued support. It means a lot to me. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for using Prime and for becoming a subscriber. Getting us up to 28. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up at 40. We're at 28, and that's rad. Okay, so then Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné. Winner faces, I assume, Toni Storm. Maybe Mina Shirakawa, but I assume Toni Storm will retain. Now, I understand that you could say that Mercedes Moné is the money match. Mercedes versus Toni. In my heart of hearts, I do not want this to happen, though. Not because I don't think that Mercedes versus Toni won't be good. Because I do think it will be good. I have no reason to doubt that will be a quality match and kick ass. But if I may, I don't trust fucking Tony Khan to book another match at All In featuring women. And so if the TBS champion is facing the world champion, I'm really fucking afraid that's it for women's matches on that show. And the alternative is Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm. Jamie Hayter could go full heel against Toni Storm. Their promos will be sexually charged in a way that will be fun and funny. Their match will be solid as hell because they really like working together, and it will be great. And then, well, what happens to Mercedes? How does Mercedes lose to Jamie Hayter in the finals? Well, the answer to that is her opponent for All In. Yeah, I feel like Athena costs Mercedes prevents Mercedes for cheating, leads to her whatever, if you want to keep her baby face, or you want her to be the heel and she cost it and it's heel versus heel and whatever you want to do. But All In Texas, I think you put Athena in the All In Texas show against Mercedes Moné, and they run back the match they had in this tournament, and that's your TBS championship match. And you could even have it be for both titles because Belt Collector wants that Ring of Honor title, or you can have Athena win and beat Mercedes. Because I don't think Mercedes beats Tony, and I don't think Jamie Hayter beats Tony, but I do think that Athena beats Mercedes at All In Texas, and I think that's what you do. That's what I would do, and I'm just some fucking guy, but that's what I would do. It's hard to bet against Mercedes Moné. She did lose the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, so she has had a recent defeat. It wasn't a triple threat, and she didn't get pinned, but still. We'll just do Timeless Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. I love Mina. I'm happy Mina is in AEW. I'm glad that in the moment they realized this song we made for Mina is bad, and we're going back to her New Japan theme, and then we'll just fucking figure that stuff out. And then also maybe it turns out that perhaps the person that sold AEW that theme stole parts of that song, allegedly. Perhaps there have been accusations made that person may have stolen that song. So maybe it's for the fucking best. But anyway, Toni Storm is going to win. I do not see Mina Shirakawa picking up that belt. I do not see that possible. I could see her turning heel. I could see her losing, and then the two of them deciding they're going to do stuff together and make a faction. I could see a bunch of things happen there. But what I can't really see, and I don't find plausible, is that I don't see Toni Storm losing that belt. This doesn't seem like a thing that would happen there. In the same way, I maybe Toni will lose the belt at All In, but I don't see her losing the belt at that show. I gotta get this piece on here, and it's not doing what I want. It goes on here. And this has to just clip. Yeah, okay. I think it just clips like that, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out later if I'm doing this wrong, because I'll try to do the front half, and it won't clip together. And then I'll go, oh, this is wrong. Let's see. C5 is the front part of this. That's got to go here. And lock in. There we go. Okay, so that does look good. Cool. This kit has a lot of fun elements to it. I think the instructions are bad, and I thought that way about the Zaku 2, that the instructions were also kind of piss poor. All right, so this got to go like that. Yeah. It's supposed to end up like this. Have this on wrong. Okay. There it goes. This looks weird, but it will look less weird once it's all together. I'm fairly confident. Let's see. Herd Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin with MVP versus the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. As far as I know, this is just for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It is not also for the Ring of Honor Tag Championships, which Sammy and Dustin are the Tag Team Champions. It's a weird pairing, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. They had just been on Ring of Honor for a long time. Sammy is now, and has been showing up on AEW regularly. I still find that weird because I got very used to not thinking about Sammy Guevara, and now I have to think about him again, which I'm not particularly thrilled about because I don't really like Sammy Guevara. So there exists a possibility that MJF, who is in the Hurt Syndicate now, might decide that he is going to get involved and cost them the belt. Do I necessarily think that that's going to happen? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do this soon and have him cost them the titles. But they could do that. They could decide that this is the story we're telling. We're going to have him cost them the belts, and everybody's going to get fucking pissed off. Again, I don't necessarily think that's what's going to happen, but it is certainly a possibility that that could cause a rift there. And again, I don't necessarily think that's what we're going to do, but it might be what happens. All right. All I got to do is panel line these, but we'll put the hands on first. We'll build the hands, and then we will panel line. And then we'll be done with the arms, and we'll move on to the legs. FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dex Harwood with Stokely. Stokely Hathaway is just going by Stokely or Big Stoke these days. But we got Stoke versus Danny Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. I think Nigel's only third AEW match, and he's also had a Ring of Honor match. This is cool. I did feel like this is where I shouldn't say that. Where I feel like this is going is Danny Garcia tagging with Cope or Adam Copeland against them. That's where I think this is going. So I assume that FTR is going to win this match. It is cool to see Nigel going to be in a match here. That's awesome. Doing a tag with Danny Garcia. I know Danny's stoked about that. That's fucking awesome as hell. And yeah, I think that could be real good and real fun. I'm glad that Nigel is getting to do more wrestling opportunities besides the time he fought Bryan Danielson. For him to have more opportunities, I'm very excited about. I think that's cool as hell. And he's getting an AEW payday. I don't know if he's going to announce it all. It would be fun if he, I don't think he should, but it would be fun if he was doing some of the 0 hour matches, which haven't been announced yet, but we'll probably be there. And then we don't know about Anarchy in the Arena. I assume that the alliance between the Death Riders and the Elite Riders, I imagine Elite Riders win, so that all remains on either Hangman or Will Ospreay to finish the job and take out Moxley. I feel like that's what the match feels like to me. Is that what's going to happen? I don't fucking know, but that's what it feels like to your friend Pat. But that hasn't been confirmed yet, but that's definitely happening. What has been confirmed is the 6th match on so far announced: Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet in the first ever for AEW stretcher match. And I'm going to tell you right now, this feels unbelievably unearned. It does not feel earned at all to have a stretcher match in this feud. This feud does not feel fierce at all. It does not seem to warrant, especially the first ever stretcher match in AEW. It does not feel warranted. This does not feel like a blood feud. This just feels like whatever. I feel like I love Mark Briscoe, but Mark Briscoe is here these days to win, so that when he loses, it means more for the people that he beat. So I feel like Ricochet wins this match. Now, there are some other stuff that could end up on the card. When did they even build a Briscoe and Ricochet feud? So Ricochet's just been taking liberties with wrestlers, and then Mark Briscoe comes out to clear house and send Briscoe off, or send Ricochet off. So it hasn't escalated really. It's just been the tail ends of matches, and it's really just felt like, oh, Mark Briscoe's here to help. It hasn't felt like Mark Briscoe needs to get Ricochet one-on-one and finish this. I don't know. Now, we could have Okada versus Speedball. That entirely possibility certainly exists. They have been minorly feuding. I don't think Okada is going to be in the Anarchy in the Arena. That does not seem like his vibe or style. This version of him. So I could definitely see them having that singles match. I would love for the second available pay-per-view for Speedball to be a a title match against Okada. That sounds fucking awesome. I imagine that Kyle Fletcher will be on the card in some form. So much of weekly TV for AEW is the Don Callis family that it would feel weird if no one in the Don Callis family was wrestling. So I could see some luchador stuff, some lucha, just like random baby faces. Maybe it'll be pre-show. Maybe it'll just be on the card. But also, Adam Cole isn't doing anything with his belt. I think this week we're getting grizzled young veterans versus the other guys in the Paragon. And I feel like Adam Cole should probably defend his fucking title, but I don't think that's going to happen. And Kenny won't be defending his title because he'll be in the main event. So it's like, it would be kind of nice if one of the other titles got defended in some way, but whatever. I don't know. I'm going to drink a little water here. I'm parched. I don't know if there are any other matches that people expect. Like I said, when you're looking at the usual suspects, like I would like to see Hologram show up on that. The Outrunners. Can the Outrunners find something to do? Maybe Outrunners and some combination of people. Like, is Takeshita not going to be on another pay-per-view? Because Takeshita should be on a pay-per-view. So maybe like that'll end up something like that. Maybe, I don't know, but I would like to see some non-title feud stuff with some people. That would be good. Again, maybe pre-show things. I don't think they're going to have Big Boom AJ until All In. I don't think he's doing Double or Nothing. And if he is, we'll find out on Wednesday because they haven't announced it, but they would probably do it on Wednesday. We're going to have like Big Boom AJ face somebody. I don't know. I could see them doing that. I don't know if they're going to, but I could see them doing it. Or just saving him for All In. I don't know. Yeah. Like, we don't know when Darby's coming back. Darby has gone to the summit of Mount Everest. So I believe that they were descending, but he is done climbing Mount Everest. He climbed Mount Everest. So now he can, I don't know, show up to do something. I really hope they don't add him to the All-In match. I could see them doing that. I hope they don't, because I think that would be less than ideal if they did that. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, it just wants to go like that, huh? All right. Put our arms where we need to put our arms here. All right. Arms are done. Looks weird with, as always. Looks like, yeah, I've never, I'm not interested in World Champion Darby. I am not either. So here's the thing. Do I think Darby Allin saving AEW from Jon Moxley makes a lot of sense on paper, like storyline wise? Yes. Do I think that they would have any fucking idea what to do with Darby Allin as world champion in AEW? No, I don't know what the fuck they would. I don't know what you do with that, because Darby can't fucking talk. So like that does it. So like you're just like, that's a dead end. He's not good on the mic, and he wrestles fine, but definitely doesn't wrestle in a style you would expect for a world champion, which is okay. Like his style works for him. I just don't fucking see it. I think it makes a lot more sense for it to be Will Ospreay or even Hangman. Although I do think the way they had Hangman, because to me, Hangman's future is not being the world champion again. To me, his immediate future is another match with Swerve, or they start tagging together. Like, because they can't. But like to me, that needs to get settled fully before you can really move on. And I don't know if they will, but whatever. It's shaping up to be a good card. I'm excited for it. If you buy your pay-per-views in advance, they are in the places you would expect them to be to buying them in advance. I would recommend, if you're going to watch AEW's Double or Nothing this weekend, I would recommend that you go through Amazon Prime. I did it for the last pay-per-view, and it looked fucking incredible. It's the best looking stream I've seen of that, because Amazon does a really good job with their live streams of live events. It looked really good, sounded really good. There was one glitch, which hopefully they fixed, but I thought was just me, and turns out it was everybody, is on the video packages. There's occasionally, not every single video package, but a lot of them would have moments where there was like an audio glitch where like the audio got behind and then it would speed up and get caught up again. And that happened for a lot of the video packages, but only the video packages, not the live stuff, which was weird. But also AEW does a video package before every match on a pay-per-view, so it added up. And it was really annoying. And hopefully that gets fixed. I thought it was me, and then I found out it was happened to other people that were doing Amazon as well. Also, if you are a person that is concerned about this because you are like watching it along with other people, or you're in a group chat, the Prime is at basically the same timing as Fight or Triller, which is a little bit ahead of YouTube. YouTube is a little bit behind those two. Also, Prime, you can watch the pre-show on Prime, and it goes right into the video package, which you can't do on Fight, which has always been annoying. Or maybe they did fix that, but I know for a while you couldn't do that, and it was annoying. All right, this got to go like this. Ooh, yeah, it snaps in like that. Ooh, that's cute. Working on the feet. You know, just working on the feet. I actually think we're not supposed to work on both at the same time, and I started doing that. I just realized now. Yeah, I just got ahead of myself because the arms I did at the same time. Yeah, they want me to do one. All right, whatever. I'll save this for the other foot when I got to do the other foot, but so far it's okay. I'm just doing this like that. All right. So that's that. Then I need, we'll just use this one. I need 3 and 4. And of course, when I'm done with this foot, we'll panel line it. And we'll get ready to move on to the next thing. Let's see. Is there any update news stuff here? In an update to a story we chatted about previously about how there is the Darth Vader AI in Fortnite was, you can talk to it like a teammate and all that, and people were getting to say obnoxious and gross and horrendous things because that's fun or funny or just, testing the limits. And they were like, we fixed it. And also, if we find out you're doing it too much, you'll lose the privilege of being able to talk to them. And I was like, that's your solution isn't to just get rid of the thing. It's to make it so people will lose some opportunities to talk to an AI Darth Vader. And yes, the estate has made that available here for James Earl Jones' estate. Now, turns out SAG-AFTRA is pissed because... So here's the deal. Obviously, he is no longer with us, but that is still a role that he had, and it is still a job, and that's part of the contract negotiations and all of that. So, using digital replicas, even though they have permission, but said Epic Games did so without providing any notice of their intent to do this without bargaining with us over appropriate terms, because the families of people who are they're not giving away those rights, they are making use of those rights, do also, like, it's a weird gray area for things, but you have to say, this is a job that we are not, we're not hiring a person to do this. We're using this audio from this source, and we're generating this, and we have this permission, but it's still a contract. You have to do a contract with the estate of James Earl Jones. You can't just do it without having a proper contract. And they know that. And again, it feels fucking gross, but it's a thing. This is a statement from SAG-AFTRA. We must protect our rights to bargain terms and conditions around use of voice that replace the work of our members, including those previously did the works of matching Darth Vader's iconic rhythm and tone in video games. Because, of course, James Earl Jones didn't do the video games. Sound-alikes did the video games, and those people have been replaced with this AI. And it's a valid fucking point. Fortnite's signatory company, Llama Productions, chose to replace the work of human performers with AI technology. Unfortunately, they did so without providing any notice of their intent to do this and without bargaining with us over appropriate terms. As such, we have filed an unfair labor practice charge with the NLRB against Llama Productions. And they say that, they failed and refused to bargain. Without providing notice by using AI generative voice to replace bargaining unit work on the interactive program Fortnite. Because they have hired people to do that work before, and they're suddenly not hiring those people, and instead just fucking using an AI. And it's somewhat of an interesting scenario. I don't know how it will do. This complaint, I don't know if it'll go anywhere. But it's interesting, and it's an angle. See, I was coming from the angle of this is fucking embarrassing. This is embarrassing as hell, and you should know better, and you should do better. And why the fuck did you want to make AI talking Darth Vader in fucking Fortnite? Why are we doing this? And I didn't, and this is not my fault. I didn't say, oh, you know what? Real human people have done the voice of Darth Vader trying to ape James Earl Jones in video games before, and those people would have done this and said the lines, and instead they just used AI, and it didn't even occur to me that was another angle of this fucking sucks. But it is another angle of this fucking sucks. Speaking of embarrassing and this fucking sucks, if you bought figures from Baldur's Gate 3 from WizKids Miniatures, you can get a refund, it looks like. If you spent $50 on that, they announced a new collection. This is WizKids last fall that featured Karlach, Gale, Shadowheart, and other people in the parties. Apparently, the people who bought it are being promised their money back because it's ugly as shit. All these figures look like ass. I implore you to go and find photos of this because it truly is like bargain basement. So the company said, unfortunately, we missed the mark on this goal with the D&D Icons of the Realms Baldur's Gate 3 character box set. If you purchase this set through our online stores, we will be offering a full refund to those who are unsatisfied with the set. Anyone who purchases a set at their local hobby shop can get refunds at those stores, apparently. Hopefully those stores will honor this. You never fucking know. But yeah, again, I do implore you to go take a look at this because these are ugly as shit, and it's kind of fucking funny. So they started showing up early this month, and they were like, it really did comparison shots of what like the things were supposed to come out. Really, just like, oh, this looks amateur hour. And then, a bunch of people on Reddit were talking about how, like, here's somebody doing art on Etsy of these characters in miniatures they made themselves, and here is this official art, these official sculptures, and just being like, oofta, oofta doofa. Really, really bad looking. Just, like, unbelievably bad looking. Other people said this level of quality isn't unusual for whiz kids, apparently. And also, obviously D&D is owned by Hasbro. So some people were wondering why Hasbro just didn't do this in-house. But that's because they own D&D. They don't own Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate just licenses D&D game. And so while Hasbro has to make approvals for that stuff, it's not like they were the ones taking it on. But like Larian did Baldur's Gate 3, they're not doing Baldur's Gate 4, so who knows exactly where it goes in there. Please accept our sincerest apologies for the frustration and disappointment these quality issues caused our customers, WizKids wrote in its update. We too feel the same, as the final product did not meet our expectations or that of our Wizards of the Coast partner. Which is like, okay, then why did you mail them out? Why didn't you say, hey, we're delaying this because these do not meet our, like, if they didn't meet your expectations, then don't mail them out. Delay them. Say, you could have done something else. And they also said, we'll give you refunds. They have not said, we're going to make this right. We're going to redo this or whatever. They just said, yeah, we'll accept a refund if you don't like it. So that's kind of where it's left off, which seems a little bad, but sucks because that's, $50 for some miniatures. That's not nothing. That's not a $0. And I'm sure there's some people that paid more than that. Speaking of paying more for it, some people were going to be one guy is going to be spending some time in jail. So a thing I have to do, folks, is I have to take a momentary break here. My apologies, because I have to go close my window. So hold on so a second here. I'm going to go to this, and I'm going to go do that. And I'm coming back. And I'm coming back. And I am back. My apologies. Not something I can just reach. I have to get up and do it. And I have to move a thing in order to get to it. While I am very grateful that the air will be coming on in this room, it rules. Lord Crashing lets me hit the dance button, and I will. Just give me a second. I gotta readjust everything. But yes, I'm excited the air is coming on. I'm not excited to have to interrupt the stream in order to close that window. But thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. Here is the dance button. All right. I gotta move this table closer to me because I had to move it out of my way to get there. All right, working on the leg here. Let's get the leg frame going. The story that I'm going to tell you about is about a man in Tamside, Manchester. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Tamside correctly. My apologies if I'm getting that wrong. Tamside, Manchester, who stole about 330,000 US or 250,000 pounds of Pokemon trading cards. This man stole a lot of trading cards. The police posted an arrest on his Facebook page where it sent out images and mugshots, people with warrants and updates and all that. It found thousands of stolen cards estimated worth about £250,000. This includes a bunch of unopened boosters, including some rare rare graded cards. And they are trying to find the owners of these stolen cards. And hopefully they'll be able to. And apparently some of the cards are found included a grade 10 Charizard EX Special Illustrations Rare. And the Silver Tempest Lugia, which is also a 10, which are both worth hundreds of dollars. Not much to this story, just that apparently this person was stealing a lot of cards when he got caught. So we'll see. We'll see if there's any follow-up stories about people being reunited with their stolen Pokemon cards, or if they just end up as evidence sitting in a room for a really long time. But it's just, to me, the reason why I brought this up was not just because of the stolen cards, but the amount of it, the 250,000 pounds of it is just, it's such a large number of Pokemon cards. Pretty fucking wild. And then one more news story. Did not have any layoffs to report today. I'm sure that we will have some over the course of the week, but nobody got laid off on a weekend or the Monday or anything like that, seemingly. Of course, we'll find out. But one last news story thing before we move on to the next thing. Sorry, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Putting this right. Got to make sure I'm doing the legs properly here. Okay, I believe that's correct. Great. And that story is that Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, the mobile version of Call of Duty Warzone, is being delisted from mobile stores. It launched last March. Last March. And then Activision said that anyone who has installed the game prior to its removal from the App Store and Google Play Store on May 19th, which was today, you can still play it for a while. They didn't say how long, but if you still have access to it, they haven't shut down the servers yet. They're delisting it. But they're not going to do any more work on it. No more content, no more updates. No more social features. And again, they did kill it less than a year. Have access to the game will continue cross-progression of shared inventories using existing content and servers with matchmaking for online play. Any unspent COD points will also be redeemed in-game towards available content in the store. So you can spend it. You can't buy any more, obviously, but you can spend what you had. And also, if you have unused Call of Duty points, you can't get a refund for those, and you can't get a refund for anything you bought in the game. Because, it is shared progress, I believe, so you can't have that stuff in your PC or console version. But if you only played the mobile version because you don't have a console or a PC that can play games, then you are shit out of luck. And you thought that perhaps you would be safe spending money on a free-to-play game that was made by Activision because, well, some of these other companies can kind of come and go, but Activision should be around for a while, which I genuinely think is a fair thought to have. Now, I would not recommend spending money on mobile games, certainly, but I would say that, if you were trying to bet on what it will stick around and what will be continued to be supported for more than, let's say, a year and a half, like they didn't get to a year and a half, right? It launched a year and 2 months ago. So you would think maybe if you were going to bet on the odds, then that it would be pretty good to bet on Activision trying to keep that alive. And unfortunately, that is not the case. C15. Is this C15? This is C15. This is C15. Then that's going to go like this. That's going to go... Do this right? Yeah. Nope. I'm going to go like that. Well, how do you work? What are you doing? Sorry, everybody. Just trying to figure this out here. as I said, I really like the look of this kit, and I do love working on kits that don't have polycaps, but the instructions for these particular kits have left a lot to be desired. So I would say I think the look of this is really neat, but just be prepared to look at instructions for a while, trying to figure out what they actually want you to do and what does this actually mean, because it's a little misleading here and there, a little confusing on places. But I do think that it comes together and looks pretty great once it's all together, but it can be a little rough here. I don't know. B1. Oh, I'll tell you this right now, folks. It is very comfortable in this room. Very comfortable right now. Already. Immediately. Way more comfortable than it was previously. Love that the air conditioning is on right now. Loving it. I think I just have to be... I try not to be a bother about things like this. Because as we talked about it, I recognize my room is warmer than other rooms in this house. It is the warmest room in the house. So I try to be like a little bit more like aware, like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to sweat because of the stream, but if it's not super hot in the rest of the house, then that's fine. But I think I'm going to be a little bit of this like, hey, it's kind of warm. Do you think we're about turning the air on this evening? And just kind of be like that. Because even my stream tomorrow, which you should come check out. It's a Hearthstone stream tomorrow night. There was a mini set that recently came out, so a couple of my decks have updated cards, and I have a new deck that I've been enjoying that I do not think I have shown off on stream. So I'll have that ready to go tomorrow night. But that stream, I will not be as warm as I am now, because in that stream I will only have this light. There's a light here that illuminates me well, and then my other lights will be at a much dimmer look, because I don't need them to be uber bright, because I don't have to illuminate a table. You know, I'm just lighting myself, so I can get away with a lot less heat being kicked off as I play Hearthstone. Looking forward to that. I'm just kind of going back to some favorites this month. I believe that I'm going to be playing Nubby's Number Factory at the end of the month, but there's a chance I will have something else to play. I'm still waiting to find out that, and if not, then the first week in June I'll play that game. But if they allow me to play it early, because they haven't said if I can or not, but if they're allowing me to play it early, then I'll play it that Tuesday, because it comes out that week. It looked neat. But, you know, I don't want to break any agreements if they're saying, you know, this is for review or this is for streaming or anything like that. If they're not cool with me playing it on the dates, then I will obviously abide by that. I'm not trying to blow up anybody's spot, you know. Not trying to cause any trouble. You know, excited to look at some cool games and all that. All right. I'm going to pause here. We'll get back to working on this leg. It's leg night, and so we got to also do the other foot and all that other stuff. But before I continue this, what I really need to do is I need to do a pause for the cause. Talk about ways that you, that's right, you, the viewer, can support what I do here if you are so inclined. And I'll talk about ways there, and then we'll get back into it. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the link of the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here via Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. You could be like Jam and use your Prime token. You could use Cash Money. Reminder that there is currently a promotion going on through Sunday that you can get a 30-day Crunchyroll Mega Fan free trial when you subscribe to 2 streamers. You'll get that for a month there. You got to create an account if you don't already have one. It's a free trial there. You get a bunch of stuff in that. And if you want one of the subscribers, one of the people you subscribe to be me, you can do that. You can also gift a sub like Unjan and join the gift sub leaderboard. Bits and coins are also always appreciated if that's how you'd like to roll. You certainly don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could, and it'd be nice. That's the easiest way to support what I do here, through cash money, like that. But there are other ways. You're already here on Twitch, but there are other ways to support me out, like joining my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. Over my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon if you would like. We'd love to have you over on the Patreon. You also could jump over to my YouTube. Now, obviously, subscribing to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBaer is free. And I would love for you to become a subscriber there. You'd also become a member. And for just $2 a month, you get to see my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow, you'll be able to see a video that other people will have to wait until Wednesday to see. That's pretty fun. Let's see. Other things. So those are all monthly ways to support me. If you'd like to throw a couple dollars into my Ko-Fi or my PayPal, you could do that. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And out of that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits. So if you're interested in getting a model kit for, like me being able to buy kits like this kit right here, your support helps me out. Present you will help out future me, just like past you helped out present me. Now, I do have a good backlog of stuff that I'd be happy to build, but if you want to have a say in what I'm working on, you could always buy something from my Amazon wish list. Anything you buy from the wish list will come to me in the mail, obviously, and jump the queue. It'll be the next thing I work on, because that's the least I could do, because you spend money. And then also, I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased. I've got Lego sets and model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, all kinds of different things and things. It looks like somebody bought one of the cheaper Lego sets that I had on the wish list. Yeah, it looks like the plain 3-in-1 got purchased. That's awesome. I just noticed that right now. That's awesome. But yeah, I got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive stuff, expensive stuff, stuff that that's nice. The Tick Belong, which is it's the only high grade from Witch Mercury that I haven't built, because it's not a mobile suit. It's like the transport, like the personal transport for Gundams and mobile suits. That's on sale. That's a good little price right there. Nice. Yeah, I got Lego sets and model kits, inexpensive things, really expensive stuff. See if there's something there on the wish list you'd like to see me build. You could pick it up. You could consider it a birthday present. My birthday is not for another month, but if you want to get me an early birthday gift, you could do that. That's something you could do if you want to. Let's see. What else? My alternative to Amazon is Throne. I have a wish list on Throne. Check that out. See if there's something there you'd like to pick up for me. And then USA Gundam Store. If you want to support me financially and you want to go through a lot of hoops in order to do it, you go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card there. They will send you a gift card code in your email. Then you can send that code to me via Whisper here on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon. Send me a private message on there with a gift card code. Request that you can send me a message on Discord if you want to do that. There are a variety of ways to send that stuff in if that's what you want to do. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. And again, I said if you wanted to support me in the most convoluted way possible, that's the way to do it. There's nothing more convoluted than that I can think of to support me financially. I guess, yeah, that's probably it. I was gonna guess a more convoluted way, and I couldn't think of one. I have a Discord. If you want to hang out in the Discord, we'd love to have you over there. Join the Discord. It's fun, full of cool people. We'd love to have you on that Discord over there. A couple of video links for you to check out. As I said, next Monday I'll have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. The most current one is me talking about like just some fucking stupid, annoying twists in anime. At times where they like made a big character reveal and it just sucked. And it sucked the wind out of the show and was just a bummer. So obviously spoilers abound, but that was a very cathartic video to make. So I was happy I got to make it. And then this Kuma Baer is me talking about the anime Black Lagoon. Every month I have a different theme for Kuma Baer. And this theme, because it's my anime recommendation, this theme for May has been anime from the 2000s. So I talked about Black Lagoon, which is a phenomenal action series. And it turned out that video did real well. Let me just check one quick thing. I want to see how this did. That Kuma Baer has made me put Black Lagoon on my watch soon list. Nice, John. Also, hi, John. Yeah, that one did remarkably well, and I'm very happy about that. Yeah, okay. It is like one of my most viewed Kuma Baers, and certainly I think my most viewed of this year, which is awesome. And I try not to care too much about that stuff, but I do care about that stuff. My WWE 2K25 videos are doing well are still doing well. That's awesome. I love that. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's still doing pretty damn well. In just this, yeah, since published, yeah. Yep, that's doing real good. Making the big pennies. But yeah, you should check out Black Lagoon. Nice to see numbers go up. Yeah, John. I mean, like, some of these don't do well, and that's fine because hopefully they'll reach someone. I have found that my shorts do not have a long tail. So if they can get a bunch of views in the first couple days, that's good because it means somebody's seeing it and they might hit subscribe and see my other shorts. But it's not like they're not wide reaching, which is okay. I'm no guy telling you weird stories from his career as a lawyer. I'm not a guy who is recreating other shorts of food stuff, but doing it kind of badly. I'm not a guy in Japan who just seems to be eating out for every meal and recording it constantly. I'm just trying to think of what all I'm always fucking seeing on YouTube. And those are, I'm not taking clips that don't belong to me of podcasts and putting inspirational music underneath it and then putting it up on my own YouTube somehow. But I'm not doing that. How do these people just putting up Neil deGrasse Tyson like conversations like all the time? It just seems like that's a cottage industry. Yeah, Lord Crashton says you need to become a drama YouTuber. Yeah, I mean, I was talking more about the short space. I don't think that drama YouTubers are in the short space. That's something about the algorithm that I think is broken. Like, there's a lot of stuff about the algorithm that's broken. One of the things about the algorithm that is unbelievably broken is that if you watch videos where people are talking about a thing, like doing commentary on a thing or doing an investigation on a thing, you will start getting videos for the thing they were talking about. And it's like, no, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch drama YouTubers. I want to watch a smart person talking about what's happening in that world. But the algorithm can't understand that like, no, I want to watch my friend Willie talk about a bad movie. I don't want to watch clips of that bad movie. Okay? It's just a disconnect. Like, I had to kind of stop watching some videos of smart people talking about a thing because then I was just getting the thing they were talking about. I'm like, no. I should also do investigative journalism, but not call it investigative journalism, and pretend like I'm some sort of like detective, and also like an old-timey newsman, and go that route. I should do that. John says, I want to watch Pat Baer slow roast an entire pig while recounting the entire plot of Dragon Ball. Lord Crafton says, just need to start harassing people with endless videos where the real money is at. Yes. Outrage content is is where the money is. I have no desire to do reactionary outrage content. I don't have it in my heart. Like, you know, I joked about how I have a lot of opinions for a guy that doesn't have a podcast. I got a lot of opinions, but that's the other thing I should be making. I need to start making video clips of me talking into a microphone in a setting that makes it seem like I'm a guest or I'm a host of a podcast, but there is no podcast. I'm just saying things and I'm being recorded, but there is no podcast. It just looks like a podcast because people don't want to watch podcasts or listen to podcasts, but they do want to hear clips of podcasts, I guess. I don't know. But I should be doing that. I should be making fake content for podcasts and treating it like it is. I should say that I am not fully confident that I get served a lot on Instagram a stand-up comedian doing an interview show, interview podcast, but they never say the name of the podcast. It's no lower third about it. It's not in the description. It's not on his Instagram bio. And I'm like, is this a podcast? Or do you invite your comedy friends over to record video and then just chop it up for clips? I'm not convinced there's a podcast, but it seems like there is. I don't know. Just the weird red drape? Yes, just get the red drape. Anyway, that was a rant that I wasn't expecting to make. It's a mini rant. I've got some anime to get caught up on and talk to you about. I got 3 shows to talk about tonight because I was going to do the 2 of them on Saturday and then didn't because I was telling a story. But in order to do that, I need to drink some water. I need to dramatically transition to the overhead camera. And we'll do that right now. Anime. Let's talk about it. Only reactionary about anime you don't like. Yes. I do feel bad. I should have planned out better because I did my most recent Pat Bear's Anime Club is me talking about plot twists and reveals that I think are bad in anime. And I'm going from that to the Crunchyroll Awards, which I will inevitably be mixed on at best. I think that if Frieren wins, then it's a good award show, and if Frieren isn't Anime of the Year, it's a bad award show. Like, that's just kind of my vibe. If Delicious in Dungeon wins, then a bunch of awards, maybe I'll be okay. But I feel like if Frieren isn't Anime of the Year, I'm just gonna be mad. But I will find the positive within it to talk about. I won't solely be negative, but I am expecting to be kind of negative. And that's not great to have 2 of those videos in a row. So I have to pick the next Pat Bear's Anime Club that goes after that and make sure it's positive. And it is. That's right. Because the next one I'm going to do is how this spring season is a boon for girls doing things. These subgenre girls doing things. I'm going to do that. And then I think the one after that is probably the fall wrap up spring, or the spring wrap up summer preview. I want to say is probably the next one. So yeah, I got stuff to talk about. Anyway, I got to talk about some anime here. Again, these are quick hits. Meg. At the end of the last episode, we found out Meg learned a valuable lesson about actually treating these. Meg's going to die within a year. And so she is realizing that she was being so focused on curing her curse that she hasn't been thinking about actually helping the people. But she has been helping people, even if she's been doing it for selfish reasons. So much so that she is now known as the Witch of Lapis, which is the town that she lives in. And she gets a big head about having a fucking nickname. Lord Crasher says, one of your yearly projects should be doing short parodies of type of YouTube videos you often see, but make them contrarian and nice or about some minor annoyance. So I did a little bit of that in the last series I did, Barely Rehearsed. I did have some format parodies there. Like I did a Get Ready With Me, which was just like me being very sad. I didn't go that far to do like all parodies. I also did like a review of a VCR, but I did it in a simulated talk to or type to speech voice. You know, I did a few like that. I will say that my yearly projects are pretty much done now because it could change. But at this very moment, if you asked me, Pat, what are you doing in 2026 on Wednesdays? My answer would be, oh, I'm doing Kuma Baer still because I really like doing it. That was always the hit, as I've said, when I decided I was doing this for another year, that the hidden thing, the thing that like I had never said is yearly projects until I find one I want to do for a second year. That was always a hidden criteria. And yeah, we hit that hidden criteria because like I really fucking like doing Kuma Baer, so I'm gonna keep doing Kuma Baer. And I guess I could. Here's the thing: I don't think I'm gonna run out of Kuma Baer anime to talk about. I might change the various topics. Like I might be like, oh, I don't want to do 2000s for May. I'm gonna pick a different topic or something like that. But I don't know. Right now, pretty pleased. Next month will be Mecha because I want to talk about Gundam and other shows on my birthday, so talk about those. So Meg, as I said, has a big head for the fact that she has a nickname. She's going around town telling people, please call me that. She's making a lot of weird noises in her room because she's like kind of doing like like, oh, look at me, I'm fancy and cool, and is annoying the witch that she lives with. She's getting a big head. There is another festival that is happening soon. And Sophie wants to go with Meg because Sophie wants to learn more about this curse that Meg is afflicted with. Like, she's gonna die? She has to collect tears? Like, what's going on? They get separated because Sophie is a big deal, and so they get separated, and then Meg finds a young girl who lost her servant, so she might be well-to-do, certainly seems well-to-do, and Meg is gonna help her out. So they join the festival together. They're trying to find her servant and figure that out. Meanwhile, they do run into another witch, one of the big witches named Eldora, who is the Witch of Demise. And she warns Meg, hey, you know, you're doing this to try to lift your curse, but just so you know, if you succeed, you will lose something important to you. And she doesn't specify what that is, but also like, yeah, and if she doesn't lift the curse, she dies. So what are we doing here? But obviously it's like, oh, there will be a price to pay, it sounds like, which we didn't know until episode 7, but sure. So apparently Eldora is there for this big presentation. She's working along with Faust, who is the main witch of the town. They're working on something called the Planet Core Project, which this might be a MacGuffin. This might be important. I'm not sure what's going on with this, but it was the Earth's core resonates with an artificial core to make magic ore. And they do call it Earth, but they need to make magic ore because they've been, apparently, this is a global warming kind of thing or a drilling kind of thing, but apparently they've been, this world has been harvesting too much magic ore, and the Earth is losing its connection with the magic realm. So that's what this thing we need to do. And then after the presentation, we find out that the little girl is also a witch. She's the Witch of Words, and she's half human and half spirit. And her assistant is nothing but a body double that people think is the real Witch of the Words. And then Meg realizes she she hasn't talked to Eldora about the curse. She needs to track down Eldora and find out more about her curse. And she doesn't run into Sophie by the end of it. So this episode did not involve any tears, but it did introduce us to 2 other witches. So it is some world building. And again, will this be connected to this Magic Realm Earth's Core thing? What is the price for lifting her own curse? Is it like, are we saying that like she's gonna live and Sophie's gonna die? Like, what's going on here? What could be happening? We don't have any answers. A lot more questions than answers right now. But this was a good episode. The opening where she is just like really full of herself was meant to play for laughs, and it was funny. But I could see some people being like, "Oh, I don't like this girl anymore." But I did like it. I thought that was a good bit of business. All right, we did black on this, and then we got. There's not a lot of white on this kit, but where there is this light gray, I am going to use the gray marker. Just kind of. And you know what? No, I'm going to do black on everything. It's not really white. It is a gray, and the black will pop against it. I've changed my mind. I was going to use the lighter marker, but I'll just use the dark marker. All right, yeah, so that was Once Upon a Witch's Death, and then Rock is a Lady's Modesty. So at the end of the last episode, they were trying to find new band members to fill out the band, and there's a battle of the bands happening, which Odaha is trying to convince a bass player named Tamaki to join. But also there's some other conflict going on there. But it basically just like, oh, I want you to join this thing, and if we can play this battle of the bands, I'll do it. We got a monologue from Odaha explaining what's going on. That Tamaki's previous band got angry when they found out that Tamaki was planning to join Odaha in a new project, so that they want her to be in the battle of the bands. And if they beat the new band with Tamaki in it, Tamaki has to leave that band and then rejoin Bitter Ganache, which is a great name for a band of young people that have made a poor choice in naming their band. Bitter Ganache is a phenomenal bad band name. Oda accepts the challenge because she's never been in a battle of the bands, and she thinks that rules, and she wants to play with these people. Tamaki only agrees because she's curious what Oda sees in Lilisa, our lead guitarist. The 3 of them practice together, and this is the first time Lilisa has ever played with a bassist, and she has trouble keeping up with the very talented bass player. Because she and Oda have just vibed really well together, because they have this fight or fuck thing, this kind of like toxic Yuri battle that they're facing. But Tamaki is a cool bass player, and she doesn't wear her emotions on her sleeve. So Lilisa isn't vibing with her. It's not working. It's just not hitting for her, because there isn't either a, "Ooh, I really like you and I like this" kind of vibe where they had when they played with the other people previously, and also doesn't have that like, "Well, we're gonna kiss after this, or I'm gonna storm out of here" vibe that she has with Odaha. So she just doesn't have either, and I thought it was a really interesting, and this stuff that I'm saying here wasn't really spoken aloud. It's really just vibes. It's a lot of vibes from watching this episode and being like, oh yeah, this girl just doesn't know how to deal with this situation right now. That's really interesting. Also, Lilisa has to help out with Tina, who is the 4th member of the band, who like wants to come out of her shell. She's the kind of like butch kind of like Prince type character. Not Prince the musician, but like a Prince the archetype in girls' schools of like the handsome girl that girls have a crush on and they're not sure why. But she's like struggling on the keyboard. So Lilisa has to kind of manage both those things and is having trouble with that. And they only have, unfortunately, they only have 8 days until the Battle of the Bands, but Tina is making some progress and isn't willing to give up, which is great. And then eventually they all come together, and Tamaki is apparently not too upset with Lilisa, but is pissed off that Tina isn't good and wants Tina kicked out of the band. And that's how we end episode 7. So a lot of drama, and like I said, the elements that were in there of like these girls like struggling and trying to find their way was conveyed a lot by the music and facial expressions, and not just like people say. It was showing, not telling. And that's been really nice in this show. This anime does a lot of showing and not telling. There are some monologues, but a lot of it is kind of like trying to find the right vibe for it. And I've appreciated that. Continues to be a really good show. Let's see. And then Lazarus. This was a lot of like fun locations and people running around. I spent earlier about global warming and that environmental impact that we're finding out in Once Upon a Witch's Death. But in this one, so you may remember in the previous episode, they found that cult and they found this like old AI that Dr. Skinner had worked on. Well, they start going through the files and analyzing that. Apparently, at some point, Dr. Skinner was like predicted certain islands were going to sink due to global warming in the Arctic. And they also coincidentally get 4 different oceanic coordinates in the Maldives, in the Sakashima Islands, Tulava, and Molina Bay. And each of them is going to go there. And apparently, Skinner had purchased land before they were submerged by the seas, like a decade ago. So this is like at some point, seemingly, before he decided he was going to bring out about the death of humanity, he was doing some stuff where he was using his wealth to help people out who lived on islands that he was convinced were going to sink, that did sink underwater. So it looks like at some point he was doing some humanitarian stuff before he became the dude he is now, which is interesting twist. So they go off to go see where he is. They each go in a different place. And each of them says most local residents from that suffer from a genetic disease that prevents them from feeling any pain. And perhaps that could be related. Is this wonder drug that is now going to kill people, is that related to these people and their illnesses and the genetic illnesses they had? Could be. But apparently Skinner bought the islands to give them money so they could relocate before the island sunk. So yeah, again, altruistic motives, but maybe it's related. Meanwhile, the hacker on the team traces some money back to a institute, and she discovers Hirsch, who is voiced by Megumi Hanashibara in the Japanese. And the reason why I want to eventually find the subtitle, I want to watch the Japanese version, not just the dub that I'm currently watching. But Hirsch, the leader of the group, the Amanda Walker of the group here, or Waller, I should say. Apparently, at some point, she used to work in the same place as Skinner, and maybe she worked under Skinner? ? Meanwhile, Hirsch is meeting with someone who warns her that the U.S. Army is after Axel, who they freed from prison to be on the team. So it looks like that they're dealing with that. Seems like not everybody was psyched about this work. And then Hirsch is convinced that Skinner is leaving clues on purpose because he wants to be found. And then Chris finds a woman who recognizes her and calls her Alexandra. So Chris was an alias. That wasn't Chris's real name. What's going on with that? I don't know. Also the person that she met with, Abel, he is he works for the NSA, and people think he might be an AI program. I haven't even talked about that. That's a weird sub thing that I don't know if it's going to be anything. But Chris' full name is apparently, we thought it was Christine, but apparently it's Alexandra. So, and she is Russian, so maybe she's like dealing some stuff. I don't know. But that's the episode. That's the end of episode 7. And I should also say, we know that at the end of this episode, there are only 14 days left before the first people that took the wonder drug are going to die. So they only have 2 weeks left to find Dr. Skinner and see if there's an antidote or if he's actually lying or whatever. And I would imagine that at some point, human test subjects are going to start dropping dead before the regular population, because we already had monkeys dying, so I don't know. John says, I don't know what my lunches are this week, yet have the forethought to plan a multi-decade evidence breadcrumb on purpose. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that coordinates of these islands he bought were in the AI records of the cult thing that he helped steal the thing. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, it seems like Dr. Skinner was just like fighting the good fight in weird ways, and then realized the only solution is killing humanity. Like, I don't know if that's the big end of this show or if that's his big motivation, but it feels like that's his motivation based on like previous things. But yeah, he's leaving breadcrumb trails, I guess. He's leaving breadcrumb trails. We'll find out. We'll find out together. Again, as I've said here, this is Watanabe's newest work. It's not his best work. But it does have really good vibes to it. So I am enjoying my time with it. I'm not mad that this show exists and I get to watch it. Because, if I really hated it, I would just stop. But right now I'm into it. And then we'll talk about Gundam and Catch Me at the Ballpark on Thursday, I imagine. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. I also have to drink some water, but I want to hear from you, friends. If you're working on anything, if you're doing anything, we don't have a lot of folks with us tonight, which is okay if that happens. But if you have any thoughts of things you've been playing or doing anything, you can always let me know, because I love hearing from you about those things and things. If you're working on anything, if you watched anything, if you got up to anything over the weekend you want to tell me about, feel free to do that. As mentioned, I will be playing Hearthstone tomorrow night on stream. So I've been obviously playing that over the weekend, trying to get stuff together for that. On Sunday, I watched some wrestling with some friends in a Discord, and it was really fun. And I watched some people. I mentioned that on Friday, I watched the DDT match that had a bunch of dog owners and their dogs. Well, some of my friends didn't get to see that on Friday, so I ran it back and I got to see it again. And I was glad I did, because one, it's joyful and very fun. And two, I didn't notice because he has bleach blonde hair, but one of the wrestlers was wearing dog ears. He had 2 dogs with him and he was wearing dog ears, and I hadn't noticed that he was wearing dog ears because it just looked like his hair. And I thought that was very cute. So I'm glad I got to see that a second time. But yeah, overall, I did that. As I said, I played some Hearthstone, and I'm I'm liking the decks I have. I'm kind of slowing down on playing standard because everybody's playing the same deck, and it's I don't want to have to play counter decks. So when it becomes a really popular deck that everyone's playing, that's hard to beat in standard, I just end up playing more wild because I like the wild decks I have. This is Big Shaman. My Shaman deck has a new card in it that I think is a really fun addition to it. So I'm sure we'll talk about that. We'll run that. And my Death Rattle deck hasn't really changed much. It's just that in the mini set, there was no Death Rattles that made more sense in the mini set. I guess the one that does 9 damage. Yeah, I could probably switch that up. You know what? I should do that. There's an 8/8 for 9 that does, I think, 9 damage to all minions. And I have a 6/12 taunt that costs 10 that does 3 damage, and I could probably swap it out for that, unless that's not a... If that is a Shaman card, I can't swap it out. If that 9/9 that does damage is just a neutral, then I could swap it out. So I'm going to look at that. Maybe I've just convinced myself that I can do an adjustment for my one of my favorite decks in all of Hearthstone that I've ever had. Because I love cheat rogue. No one expects big minion cheat rogue, because that's not an archetype for rogue. That's an archetype for druid and for hunter and for warrior. But cheat, mana cheat rogue is people don't expect it. Mana cheat death rattle rogue is not something people ever really expect to see in wild. So I do like busting that out when I can, because it's a weird deck and I enjoy it. Playing more Nibby's Number Factory. I'm still really enjoying that game. Still have a lot of fun with that. Played some Marvel Rivals yesterday and we got our fucking asses beat. We just got destroyed. Really late night Marvel Rivals with the crew. And we just got unbelievably dumpstered. Like, made me wonder if we should keep playing. But a friend of mine was like, "Oh no, we'll get him next time. We'll get another game in. We'll do better on the next one," and kind of kept us motivated. But yeah, I was just having a bad time. My heals were not going off, and I was getting just brutalized, and it wasn't fun. I wasn't having fun with Marvel Rivals, which I usually have. Even if I don't do well, I usually at least have fun doing badly with my friends. But that is unfortunately it was not fully the case there. Did I miss some pieces here? I don't think I did. That piece is C6. Sorry, I'm just like wondering like what these pieces are. And did I mess up an arm here? No. I did all those pieces. Okay. I'm second guessing myself on this, but it's okay. Now, let's see. Lord Crashton says, I've been playing Animal Crossing for some retro achievements. Hell yeah. Which were made by jerks who want you to collect everything in each category for everything it offers. No, that doesn't sound fun. I said hell yeah, Lord Crashington, but no, that doesn't sound good to me. Also enjoying seeing how much the series has progressed with some more basic mechanic points and not having to mail your 5 fossils to the museum every day and only getting 3 of them back the next day at max. Yes, I will say they very much did make some fucking smart changes over time in that particular game. Yes. In that game series. They did, over time, do some quality of life improvements. I think that's totally fair to say. Your town is named Helltown. Okay, well, I hope I hope Frog comes to Helltown for you. That's a bad B movie starring Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper is in a bad movie called Hell Comes to Frogtown. It's terrible. I wouldn't recommend it. If you can avoid it, I would say that is not a must go out and watch. Not good. Let's see. John says, just playing through Earth Defense Force 6 with friends. Hey, I don't particularly love the Earth Defense franchise, but when I did play with friends, that game was fun with friends. So that is, if you're going to play that series, I think you're making the right call, doing it with the crew. And Lastbrook says, I finished season 1 of Standalone Complex. Hell yeah. Love that shit. It's been a while since I rewatched it, but I maybe due for a rewatch. And I cry every time. Oh yeah. The Tachikomas at the end. I've been playing more of the new Capcom collection and going through arcade modes. And it turns out I absolutely hate Power Stone. Just completely wild swings to the gameplay. So here's the thing. Just mentioned how playing with friends in Earth Defense Force 6 is the way to play that. The way to play Power Stone is you and 3 other people that you like or whatever in the room together. Couch competitive is the way to play Power Stone. Power Stone is not a game to play by yourself against AI because the swings are just too much. Power Stone, I will say, I will even go a step further. Power Stone is best enjoyed playing on a Japanese console where you don't know what's happening and it's being barely explained to the one friend that kind of knows what's happening, and everyone else is just kind of like going through the motions and doing their fucking best to figure it out. Because you're trying, but like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't know what you want me to do with this. I'm doing my best to figure it out. Oh God. That to me is the ideal way to play Power Stone. Power Stone 1 is only 1v1. 2 I don't really have a problem with. Okay. Yeah, I played a lot of Power Stone 2 with friends, and it was really good. And it was a real good time. I spent a lot of time playing Power Stone at Chris Kohler's living room with a bunch of goof friends of mine, with Chris giving vague explanations of what we were supposed to be doing in Power Stone. And then I remember finding fan subs of the Power Stone anime and thinking, this is okay. Because it was. The Power Stone anime was A-okay. I don't know if anyone has nostalgia for it, but I found that anime to be fine. It made sense that it existed. I thought it was an okay time. Yeah. So this week, I think I'm going to finish this kit on Thursday because we'll have the waist. We might start tonight. We'll have the waist to do. And then we have, after the waist, we have, we got to put the whole kit together. And then we got to build the backpack and then the weapons and the shield. So I think we are going to finish this up, by the end of Thursday's stream. So I will probably do a poll on Wednesday about what I start next. Although I should probably wait to see, because I something was bought off my wish list. I don't know when it was bought, so maybe I'll wait. No, I'll Wednesday I'll do a poll for my patrons and see what they want me to do next, because I can always start that. And then if something comes to me in the mail from my wish list, if it arrives on Thursday, then that'll be the next thing, and then whatever patrons voted on will be the thing after that. We'll just do it like that. That's how I like to do it. I like to know what's next, but then also I am fine with pivoting to do the next thing, just to like go, oh, actually something came from my wish list, it gets priority. I'll do that thing next. What's the most okay anime out there? Asked Lord Crashington. That's a tough one, Lord Crashington. I'll think about that while I'm panel lining here. If anybody has any ideas of what the most okayest anime is, like, it's got to be something that you could just watch. You wouldn't even necessarily recommend to people. But if they said, what are you watching right now? You wouldn't be embarrassed to say, but you wouldn't like go out of your way to say like, oh, this is the show you have to see. Like this season, it's probably Food for the Soul. Food for the Soul is like, there's so many girls doing things shows that I think are trying to do something more than Food for the Soul. I think it's like fine. I think Food for the Soul is actually more about like awkward girls trying to become friends than it is about eating good food, and it's not the food porn thing. So I would say probably that is probably the most okayest anime of this season. Last Work says Demon Slayer. See, I don't know about that. I think Demon Slayer is visually so fucking good that it outshines the fact that sometimes it's really slow and occasionally very goofy, with like a character that is not particularly excellent to look at. I hate him. But I think the animation of that is, especially the fight choreography. I don't know why my mouth did that. Is so stellar that it takes it above okay. When I think of like an okay anime, I mean like we don't have the negatives of like, oh, look at this shit animation at this one moment, but you also doesn't have anything like incredible. Like it doesn't have anything about it that is really, really good. It is just watchable. Like, I would say the Gorilla God's go-to girl is its animation budget is so poor that I can't call it okay. Yes, not a lot of highs and lows, just a smooth experience. Yeah, like it's a totally fine one of those, like a girl with special powers who a bunch of boys like because of who she is, not what she can do, but also respect her for her abilities. And she's just surrounded by boys. It's one of those, and it's a fine one of those. It's just that it has no fucking money, and so it looks bad. There's a dance early on where the characters, there's a dance early on where like the characters barely move and it's just all heads moving, so they don't have to animate dancing. And then they kind of like both float up a staircase, and it's just so fucking cheap looking. Really bummed me out. But that show, I can't say it's pretty all right, but I don't think it's okay because it's got bad animation. It's like noticeably bad animation. In Another World with My Smartphone is the okayest anime of all time. It's a harem. He's an overpowered main character, but none of the look, the animation is fine. It's got some humor to it. None of the girls that he lives with, most of whom want to marry him, not all, but most of them want to marry him. None of those girls were purchased. None of them are slaves. The animation isn't bad. It's like totally watchable and breezy and easy. There's cute animal companions. The animal companions are so goddamn cute. Really fun. But also like there's very little, like there is some conflict, but it's easily solved. And he just gets stronger and stronger. You know why he's there, because God apologizes and make it up to him, but there might be a bigger story related to it. Yeah, I would say in my recent memory, the last like 10 years, the okayest anime of all time for me is In Another World with My Smartphone. Is that what it's called? In Another World. Is that the full title? Yes, it is In Another World with My Smartphone. Like I said, it is a harem, but it's not a like, oh, you saved my life and now and he's just like, nah, it's just like people that think he's cool want to marry him. The end. But there are cool animal companions that makes that show particularly very, very strong. But like, it ain't great. It ain't great at all. But it is very okay. There we go. We did solve it. That was a great question, Laura Crashton. I appreciate that. So yeah, we'll get body completed by this, and I think by the end of Thursday's stream, we will finish this kit. And then, yeah, I'll probably do a poll on Wednesday. I'll see if the, but if something comes to me in the mail on Wednesday, then I won't do the poll. That's what we'll say. But I'll know what I'm going to be building when I finish this, because I'll probably finish it during Thursday's stream. Anyway, that's going to do it for tonight's stream. Speaking of streams, that's it for us. I am going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. I'm going to go find someone doing cool stuff, and we'll go hang out with them because we want to keep the good vibes going. We are small, but we are mighty. So we'll do that. While I figure out Mary Kish is streaming. She's playing Bionic Bay. So we will go hang out with Mary Kish as she plays a video game. So we'll go see what that is. Or no, this is not. Yeah. Right now, I'm just looking at, I don't know what's happening. I think she's outside. I don't know what's going on. But we're going to go hang out with Mary. It's Mary Monday. Yes, we always end with a raid. Reminder that tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be right back here playing some Hearthstone. I hope you will come hang out for that stream because it will be fun. I'm going to show off some updated decks and a new deck that I'm playing in Standard. A bunch of wild nonsense. I have a hunter deck that is not a cheap hunter deck. It's a fun hunter deck. So we'll play my fun imbue hunter deck because I think that deck is. I think I'm playing the much more fun version than other people are playing. So we'll play that. Thanks so much for being here. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Please feel free to come along on this raid, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.